Hey Saber fans, happy Star Wars Day, happy May 4th, and may the 4th be with you, or may the Force be with you. If you're lisping, or if you're saying it properly, it sounds the same on this very particular day. It's a very special day for us Star Wars fans because we celebrate the, well, it is a great pun, and it is very fortunate that one of the days of the year has the name May 4th. No, it has, well, anyway. So, I wanted to talk about the SaberForge Redeemer that I got about a year and a half ago. I got it off SaberForge, of course, because it's the Redeemer. If you guys know that your Star Wars, trivia, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber, or at least SaberForge's interpretation of the saber. It has the details from Revenge of the Sith, as opposed to the one in A New Hope. There are some significant differences, so I'll be discussing that in a bit. I'm reviewing this lightsaber because, well, I wanted to do some Star Wars content, and I also wanted to get into the art of being a sabersmith, or, prop building, or whatever you want to call it. But in the end, I'm still going to be a collector, and that's what I also wanted to talk about today. If you're a collector of Star Wars, props and collectibles or toys or anything, this is the place to be. If you're looking for the specific lightsaber hilt and you're looking to buy one, you probably are doing what I did back in the day when I was going to get my SaberForge Redeemer. I was looking for every single review available on YouTube so I could see what everyone had to say about it before I purchased. And well, since this is one of the most updated reviews to date, but this is a 2016 model. I'm not sure if there are any differences with the newest ones. The only ones that I know so far is that this one, when I got it, I ordered it on December 31st of 2016. It came to me on March 2nd, 2017, which was about a 3-month waiting period, which was not so bad, or 13 weeks. 12 to 13 weeks. It's not a bad waiting period. I was lucky because this was the last SaberForge Redeemer that I got in 2016, and that meant that I also purchased it with the starting price of $149, and today it's $199. So that's a little fortunate over there. So let's move on to the lightsaber. So every company, whenever they make a lightsaber, they have their own differences. Oops, sorry, let me get this out of the way. They have their own differences. They have a specific part of the lightsaber that is significantly different. This isn't one-to-one to the movies. In no way, sorry for the shaky camera, is this one-to-one. SaberForge's lightsabers are significantly thicker, and also they are a lot longer. Compared to Roman props, if you have watched Shamim's videos on YouTube, he has done a huge amount of comparisons, which is very, very enlightening for people in the saber community. He has done a great body of work so far, and I was able to deduce that Roman Props, for example, another company that also has made this lightsaber in particular, has their it's a lot smaller, it's a lot shorter, like about this much, and it's a lot thinner, so it's also a lot lighter. These sabers are CNC machined aluminum, and they are heavy, they are metallic, and they are durable. And that's the whole thing about lightsaber prop collections. They can range from $50 from your local toy store, which is all plastic, no electronics, just a PVC blade that extends. Or you can go as far as what I own now. I'm pretty sure that there are more expensive hilts than my own that have metallic hilts with working electronics that are are more resemble more a real lightsaber than the toys. So this is the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber. Let's talk about it. You can see that it has the beautiful details that characterize Obi-Wan's lightsaber. This lightsaber is Obi-Wan. he and the saber are one. You see this, and if you're a Star Wars fan, you know that this is Obi's. So, starting off with the emitter section, inside there's a reflective tape, and I don't know if you can see that little eye looking at you. That is the LED, 12 watt LED. I have a cyan color dye inside. I'll explain that in just a minute. The copper section, brass, all the way to the grenade section, the grooves here. People say that it's sharp, but it's not that sharp. I mean, I squeeze it with my hand. I even, twist the saber in my hand, and I don't have any, scratches or anything. And the control box as well. Here they say that, this is sharp, and people have reported themselves getting cut. Now, I don't know if that's true, but in my case, it's not. They're still pointy, and if I use this to hit someone in the head, I will do some damage, but oh well. I'd rather hit them with my polycarbonate blade, because I am a Star Wars fan and not a thug. But since I'm a Jedi, I wouldn't harm anyone, so yeah, that's not a threat. I was just trying to be funny. But I guess that aggravated assault is not something to laugh at. So moving on to the control box, the older editions of the SaberForge Redeemer had the kill key on this side of the saber, and thankfully they changed that, because this is more reminiscent to the lightsaber in the movies. This is more accurate, and I like the accuracy of it. And a long time ago, this card section was static. The whole clamp was static, and now if you slide it, I've already removed the kill key, so it's ready to be, used. I lost my kill key, actually. I removed it a long time ago and just never put it back because I never found it again. And over here is the switch. So, as you can see, detailed things for you guys to see. If you're looking at this for the first time, well, you can get a good look at it. Now, one thing that I want to do in this review is a heads up. If you use your lightsaber a lot like I did in the first year, and if you drop your lightsaber like I did, you are going to have some minor problems. First of all, the electronics inside are going to shake. And SaberForge, they brought me this lightsaber. It was compact, it was perfect, I had no problems with it. But I dropped it once or twice, and I kind of broke something in there. The saber still functions properly, no problem, but the thing is that the electronics inside are loose. So if you want to avoid this situation, you should not use your lightsaber that much. Unless you want to get a $75 lightsaber from SaberForge again, or some other company. I'm not endorsed by SaberForge in any way. It's the company that I have researched the most and know the most about. That's why I'm talking about them. But if you want to get yourself a lightsaber that you're going to be using extensively for duels and stuff, that you're not afraid of breaking or tearing apart, then you can get yourself a cheaper lightsaber with electronics inside. But this, since it's a collectible and it resembles someone very important to the Star Wars canon and universe, it would be best that it remains unused as much as possible so that you can preserve its shelf life. So, back to the whole saber description. This is a cover tech knob, sorry about that. This is a 2.0 cover tech knob from SaberForge. The cover tech knob is reminiscent of the prequels. In the original trilogy, the cover tech technology was not yet discovered. So at the Pommel section, I put a piece of paper in there to keep the the recharge port from getting all loose, because if I do this and I unscrew the pommel and I take out this piece of paper that I temporarily put inside to keep the electronics nice and steady, you can see that the speaker here is in place. Now if I start using this, the speaker will drop out a little bit because, like I said, the electronics are kind of loose and the recharge port like sticking out, and it kind of screws up the functionality of my lightsaber. So I'd rather put that back, and it will just press against the speaker, so I can rely on the fact that the recharge port won't come apart. Now, this isn't by any means SaberForge's fault. Everyone, or a lot of people, do the easy thing and blame it on the company that they got it from. They don't actually say that, you know, I'm such a huge nerd and I've used my lightsaber at every opportunity, and I used it so much that I wore it down and I screwed it up. They would rather blame the company because it's the easy thing to do. I'm not one of those people. I am a nerd as well, and I have used my lightsaber extensively. I enjoyed the crap out of it, and I regret nothing. Next is the pommel section, which in the original New Hope prop, this was supposed to be the tab section. Now, what I really, what I don't like about this lightsaber is this part here from the pommel section that sticks out. I'm not a huge fan. Roman props and Korbanth do not have this section here. It's just like this, and it's more accurate. The grooves are more accurate on the, tap part of the lightsaber, but that's okay. This is SaberForge's execution, so I guess that every company has their own style that they like to put on different parts of the saber. It's their execution, so I respect it as a piece of art, as a signature from every company. So it balances it out. So if you know your lightsaber history, or you have looked at it extensively as I have, in the original A New Hope version, the lightsaber prop was built together by a few items that the prop department used to make Obi-Wan's original lightsaber in A New Hope. This would be part of a Rolls-Royce, or they took it from a Rolls-Royce, if I remember correctly, the emitter section, and then they stuck it up against a World War II grenade, which was this section over here. Now, this is not very accurate to the World War II grenade. This is the Revenge of the Sith version. So, to the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber, it is accurate, but it is not accurate as a World War II grenade, replica. The clamp section was used from a Graphics. I'm still talking about Obi-Wan's A New Hope version, and instead of this circuit board, I'm going to call it a circuit board, they used a bubble card, just like the original Graphics lightsaber that Luke had in A New Hope. This part, I believe, was part from an airplane turbine. I'm not sure. I'm not going to put my finger on it, and like I said previously, this was a specific British tap that they had available, because they did shoot stuff in London. So while they were there, that's where I believe that they, conceived this lightsaber. And it makes sense because Rolls-Royce is an English firm, brand, company, whatever. Anyway, so this is it. And, well, it is my favorite lightsaber. I do love Obi-Wan. He is a very great character all around, from his youth all the way to his old age, which is fantastic. And it is a testament to my fandom. My friends say that it is a useless prop. What are you going to do with it? You should be practical with your money. So the first thing I tell them is, it's my money, so I do whatever I want with it, because, we all like to waste our money on things that we enjoy. And this is an investment. I'm going to keep it with me until it breaks, or I lose it, or I don't know what. So this is my investment. So it is a testament to my fandom. You don't have to buy an expensive lightsaber. Hey, it doesn't make you any more of a fan or any less of a fan if you have invested a lot of money in a prop. Some people do have budgets. Like myself, I am on a budget, and I could afford this right now. Maybe 8 years ago, no, definitely 8 years ago, I could not afford this lightsaber. And now I'm in a position where I can afford another one, which I will be building. It's the Graphics 2.5, but that's a secret project. Shh, you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, so lightsabers vary from quality. They vary from, prices. What do you want to get? Do you want to get a Master Replicas? You can get a Master Replicas. Do you want a Hasbro Force Effects Black Series 1? Go ahead, get it. You can get whatever you want. It doesn't make you any less or any more of a fan than anyone else. It's not a comparison. We do have our own limitations. And hey, we can choose how much money we want to spend. But if you do decide to go the way of the ultra nerd, which is myself, in buying a very expensive metallic hilt from companies like Ultra Sabers or SaberForge, or prop makers like Roman Props or Corbanth or all these guys. You are going to spend some money. These things cost a lot of money. You need a budget. You cannot just say, hey, I'm going to get myself a saber. Unless you have the money, which is great, but if you're on a budget, you really need to do some research on what you want to get. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I've taught myself out. Let's just show this lightsaber off. Back a few years earlier, the Master Replicas guys, they said, okay, let's make an iteration of Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. So what do? Can we have the thin neck, just like the static props that we just made, because they also had a thin neck Master Replicas 1:1 perfect scale lightsaber. It was the official product then. But they said, can we make that a functioning lightsaber? And they thought to themselves, no. So we're going to have to take the entire lightsaber from the grenade section all the way to the emitter and just stretch the thin neck and make it one unified body of lightsaber. So we can house the lightsaber all the way to up to, here. And the advantages that these lightsabers have over Master Replicas is tremendous. First of all, Master Replicas, they sacrificed the entire aesthetics of Luke's Episode 6 saber and Obi-Wan Kenobi's Episode 3 lightsaber because they are the thin necks that they issued. It didn't look good to me. It wasn't appealing. I didn't want to buy it, and I'm very thankful that I did not, for a lot of reasons, one of them being the thin neck aesthetics. Then companies like, SaberForge and Ultra Sabers, and I don't know what other companies also have their own thin necks. They said no, in-hilt LED, whereas the old lightsabers, Master Replicas, and now Hasbro have an in-blade electronics lightsaber, which means that the lightsaber hilt would not be functional without the blade inside. And most of the models were non-removable blades, so that's a bummer. You cannot take a CoverTech knob, or you can't clip it to your belt, you cannot use it. You have to take the whole blade with you, and it would annoy some fans, including myself. I wanted to be able to remove and attach the blade whenever I desired. And another advantage that these lightsabers have over the production line ones is that they are far brighter, and they do not have an LED strip within their blade, which meant that these are durable. The LED strips were more sensitive, which meant that you could not duel with them as hard as you could do with these. And the electronics, they would start over here, that would be housed inside. You would just have to, put it against your lightsaber, and then it would work, it would function. These lightsabers have in-hilt LEDs, and it works. So imagine if this was a LED strip, and I decided to duel with it, and one of the LEDs here decided to die out in this section because I hit it too hard. Then when I ignited the lightsaber, I would have a discontinued illumination effect, which put me off a lot. I've seen sellers on eBay selling these kind of lightsabers for a ridiculous price. That is unacceptable. So yeah. Then some people decided to modify those lightsabers, but that's a different topic. So when I found out that SaberForge had this lightsaber specifically without sacrificing any of the aesthetics of the thin neck, I was very happy. I was extremely satisfied with what I'd seen. Functioning electronics, check. LED that is very bright, check. Not fearing of ruining the blade or the lightsaber hilt because it is durable, like the way I'm going to demonstrate right now, check. Now, it's very simple. Just pop this in. And these companies have a retention screw somewhere around the emitter, over here. And if I take this Allen key that SaberForge was kind enough to add in the pack, because I ordered this lightsaber and they gave me a CoverTech knob for an extra $10. This one is more, screen accurate to the films, and I'm glad that they gave me this one as opposed to the other ones that they had, which was just a slide in. And people said that it was deeper and you could access your lightsaber better, but this one clicks and it's screen accurate, so I like it more. So I'm taking my Allen and I am tightening the retention screw, not too much, just enough. So if I try to pull it apart now by using a reasonable amount of force, it won't, because the retention screw works perfectly against it. I'm holding it with one hand, I have the other one free, and it doesn't. I try to pull it apart from both ends and it stays there. So let's just show it off, and I will turn the lights off to show off the durability of the blade, but let's just show it off for giggles. This has a SaberForge, Viridian soundboard. It's the older soundboards that they had. Now they have the new SaberForge 3.0. I'm not sure, but they have updated their soundboards, which are customizable now. These lightsabers have stock sounds inside, so yeah, that kind of sucks, which means same ignition, same power down, same swings and clashes and hum, but that's not a problem. So let's spark it up. Oops, here we go. Now, to all of my newbies in the Saber community, this is what it's going to look like. The blade is going to look like this when you turn it on. It's not going to have that whitish hue like in the movies, and the outlines are going to be, you know, the color of the saber. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a giant glow stick. Okay? You have been warned. It bummed me out at first. I said, oh no, it looks like a giant glow stick. And I said, oh no. But when you take pictures, let me turn off the light. Okay, let's spark it up again. Now, if you want to take pictures from afar, yeah, the effect looks cool. And my saber hasn't been fully charged in like a day. So, if you want to take a picture, I'm not showing it off properly, but if you want to take a picture from a reasonable distance, it will look just like in the movies. But that's just about it. So the effect in reality is this. What you see here, this is the reality. The blade has a few scuff marks because these polycarbonate thick-walled blades are very durable. So let's just do some swings and clashes. It doesn't register all of the hits because it's not fully charged. See, it's, yeah. One of the things that you want to consider is always keeping the lightsaber charged, or having the kill key in place, which I do not have, and that is the price I have to pay. But still, to someone that is just a fan, there we go. But still, to someone who's outside of the fandom, it is a very impressive feature. So that's that. Let me turn this down now. And let me get the light. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to take my Allen. I am going to release the blade. There we go. And that's that. It just slides out. These lightsabers have this reflective film inside. You want to be very careful with them. They're very sensitive. They're very fragile. Make sure that you do not let a lot of dust get inside these films because they're very hard to clean. Now, I'm going to put my blade away. I don't need it anymore as of now. So that's the SaberForge Redeemer. So that's pretty much it. I have showed off everything I needed. So if you guys want to buy a lightsaber, you have a variety of companies, affordable options right now. The Saber community has grown exponentially since its inception. More ideas are out there, more alternatives out there, affordable things for you guys. You have a plethora of options. You can build your own lightsaber. It is not that hard. It's not as hard as it used to be a long time ago because people have shared the knowledge in forums and in videos on YouTube. You can find all the knowledge you need everywhere. And the tools necessary and the materials. It is not that hard to own a lightsaber today. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed my Star Wars Day special review. I will be doing another project, which is the Graphlix 2.5. I will be making an installation. I'm not sure if I will be doing a how-to video on building the Graphlix, because I really am not that confident in my welding skills, so I do not want to screw up. I'd rather show the final product of what I've done. Now, that is my first lightsaber. I'm going to be doing some more content on Star Wars. I'm going to be doing a lot more things in the future. So that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will catch you guys in the next video that I'm going to be posting. I don't know what it's going to be, but if it's there, please make sure to check it out. If you liked what you saw and you want to see some more content from me, please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. I will be in touch with you guys. Thank you for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you always. So goodbye.